I'm a Limpopo guy, man. I've born and bred in Limpopo. The township called Seshego.
Where
Just
Julius comes from
definitely, that's my homie.
is your neighbor.
Yeah, yeah, he's from a different section, but yeah, we all from Seshego. So I grew up in Seshego. I've done my schooling in Seshego as well. I went to University of Limpopo for my tertiary. And then after that, I went to UNISA, done my postgrad, and then I've done my MBA as well. So yeah, that's education wise, Entrepreneurship. I think I've as I grew up, my mother my mother was a person who actually she didn't really work, but I remember she worked at one of the big retails, I think Pick and Pay or something, and Spar and something. But yeah, she was mainly into entrepreneurship. She will sell, beers at home. She will sell, yeah, like anything she can make money out of, you know. But I think I've picked up that from her. On the side of my dad was just a working guy, man, just a normal working guy, doing his 9 to 5 at Tiger Brands in Limpopo there. And then that's where entrepreneurship, I think, ticked from my mother's side. And then I've done my schooling in Limpopo, and then I went into corporate in 2007 after doing my BCom accounting in University of Limpopo, and then corporate back since I'm still in corporate even now. We're trying to juggle entrepreneurship, corporate, and building portfolios. While we still fit, we can juggle all these things.
What was the transition like from, as I'm listening to you, you went to a rural primary school,
Yeah.
Township Rural,
Township, yeah.
And then Township Rural High School,
Yeah.
and then technically University of Limpopo.
Yes.
It's Township Rural
Township
University.
rural as well, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the transition like moving from that and going into corporate
Yeah.
for the first time? I remember we once had
Yeah,
that conversation.
yeah.
So it just sparked
Yeah.
that question now.
Yeah.
Seeing a computer for the first time
Yeah,
there
man.
at work. Seeing a white person maybe for the first time
Yeah.
even.
Quite interesting witness. I think I struggled a bit for the first few months. I believe it was a bit of a struggle. The computer, of course, we've done the computer at university level. You're aware of that. But from a typical thing like structuring an email, it's corporate is kind regards. So structuring an email and it was a bit of a struggle. But I remember I had a guy that actually took my hand and took me through the corporate environment. And then I think he actually helped me a lot in terms of all those nitty-gritties of corporate. But yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. You're from environment of the black environment, so to say, and then you go into corporate. You have to live up to the name corporate. So it was a bit of a struggle, but eventually, so I believe we all need someone just to hold your hand a bit. The hunger was there. I want to learn. You just want someone to hold your hand. Come, let me show you the ropes. Yeah.
And then looking at your career, both academically and professionally, it's got a lot to do with finance,
Yeah.
right? But I want to start with also this simple question. What shaped your relationship with money when you were growing up?
Yeah.
Because I know you also, because of the projects that you've done,
Yeah.
it's got a lot of savings that go with what you do. But what shaped that relationship with money?
Yeah.
And what channeled the thought that money always ought to be invested?
For me, I think it's having to realize when you're young that at home they have a limited budget, so to say, limited money. You know that I might have attendant today.
Were you poor?
Not poor, but I'll say an average household in the township. I've never slept hungry. whenever I wanted maybe a sneaker or whatever, my father would buy for me. You know, but it's more of knowing that I might not have this money next week. I remember, we used to, the township, we used to contribute some monies at December holidays, 31st at Kholangwa, so to say. We contribute money,
Majida or as
Majida and all that. Sometimes you'll bring your girlfriends and all that. But yeah, I used to actually save money from January
to contribute.
to contribute for that.
Yeah.
I remember contributing around, I think, 100 francs, so to say. But I will actually, not that my father wouldn't give me 100 rand, but I will put money aside, making sure that I'm good come December. I don't want any troubles. So I think that it actually cemented the savings culture and the investment culture in me. You know, so that's what I will do. I'll save money, make sure that I'm good come December. And then since then, I remember even, I can give you another example where I started working. And then, when you started working from that black background, first thing that you do, you open a retail clothing accounts for most of us. All, of course. I think at some point I had like 3, if not 4, buy from all this non-retail. And then at some point I got into financial trouble because I was spending money like it's nothing. I started to work, and then all of a sudden I have this money that I don't really have a structure in spending. I just spend as I go. And I bought my first car as well, and then the lifestyle changed completely as well.
What car was that?
It was a Ford Fiesta. It was a Ford Fiesta. That was my first car, a silver gray one, yeah. And then the lifestyle change. You go to party, you move around a lot with your friends. That's money. You spend money. And at some point, I had to sit down because I will have credit cards all over the place. At some point, I couldn't pay them. And then I had to actually introspect, like, you know what, I can't live like this. I remember it was towards winter, I had to let go of my car. No one came to me and say, you know what, let go of the car. I had to introspect. I was like, I can't live like this. Let go of the car. I went back to public transport.
What made you let go of the car?
It was basically wanted to fix my finances because I knew this car. This is actually the main